Now, back to this DeSantis story. Okay. Donald Trump and DeSantis will probably... DeSantis has said that he's not going to run. I think he's kind of been cagey about it. But a lot of people are like pushing it forward, going, DeSantis, you're the guy. You stood up to Fauci. You're standing up to fucking Grandpa Biden. You're the guy. You're keeping Florida open, baby. You got nice hair. Kids got suave, nice hair. Okay? You beat a guy for governor. One of my favorite stories. I think we talked about it a long time ago in the podcast. The guy that he beat. Very funny story. Do you remember the guy he beat? He was a black guy. His name was he ended up, after he lost very narrowly to DeSantis, and I digress, but it's worth it. He got caught in a hotel room with hardcore drugs and a gay male prostitute. He's married with kids.
Andrew Gillum?
Andrew Gillum, yeah. Andrew Gillum. He was called like the biggest rising star in the Democratic Party. And then there was this article, I think it was in Vanity Fair, about how he was a hero for and his wife was like a hero for accepting his behavior. I was like, man, they will spin anything into a good story if it has something that Dave Chappelle would make a comedy special about as a theme. Allegedly. So is this the article? Yeah, how he survived the night of scandal. The rising Democratic star was found at a Miami Beach hotel. Now, this is the type of shit I want to hear from my politicians. Mm-hmm. Okay? Especially if you're from Florida, dog. If you don't end up in a hotel room with drugs and a gay prostitute, then how are you going to run Florida? What is going to give you the experience base to connect to those voters down there if you don't do drugs and you don't cheat on your wife with men? Mm-hmm. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. So he was caught passed out in a hotel room with I'm sorry. Did I say prostitute? That's a pejorative. An empowered male sex worker.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I apologize. To keep their marriage together, this is the article. You found the article. Thank you. This was it. To keep his marriage together, he and his wife, RJ, had to embrace a new dynamic of radical honesty in their relationship. Now, I got a lot to say about this fucking article, okay? Now, these are the people who constantly talk about a patriarchy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So now she has to be forced to accept radical honesty. You know what wasn't radically honest? Cheating on her in a hotel room with a male sex worker while they did drugs. Mm-hmm. So now she had to learn to operate in radical. What did she have to be honest about? What do you mean they had to operate? No, he did.
Yeah.
He had to, and he can't. He already fucking lied.
Radically honest is a really weird way to put it. I just found out my husband's gay.
That's a really weird way to find out. Not only is your husband gay, he's cheating on you and he's passing out doing drugs. It's a triple whammy.
Yeah.
It's a triple whammy. I mean, the kid was running for fucking governor. He wasn't performing at Coachella.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was running for governor. And I just love the way they phrase that as like he's still a hero. Like they still, you know what I mean? It's like if any other, like, just to play devil's advocate, if like a Republican, family values guy, right?
Like who's Elliot Spitzer, right?
Or Elliot Spitzer's a Democrat, right? Yeah, like Elliot, but they
the same situation he was going through.
They fried him, right? Well, yeah, and you just contradicted my point, so I can't even make that point because they did fry him. No, but they fried him. The Republicans fried him.
But Gillum's black.
Is that why they're giving him? They're giving him a pass.
You got to hold him up.
You got to hold
him up, son.
You got to hold him up,
especially in the South.
Okay. Well, that's what's happening here because I wasn't even thinking about it. They did fry Elliot Spitzer. They did also fly Carlos Danger. But what Carlos Danger was doing was like he was talking like a 16-year-old online, right? Yeah. I just love how she's overlooked here. It's like what it's just like they had like their marriage was repaired, they focus on the fact that like, oh my God, it must have been so hard for him to be gay, and like he's some sort of victim here, when like she's the victim. He was doing this behind her back. So like what saved him is radical honesty. It's like, what are you talking about?
Jared's right too. This would never. Elliot Spitzer would never be in an article like this.
Never.
No.
And this makes me a little weird because it makes me question, what skeletons does she have in the closet?
That could be where she's like, all right, let's just roll with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or she just goes, now I got a free pass to fuck our private chef who I've always wanted to fuck. Yeah, at this point, they're like, they have kids. They may be like, let's just clean this up in the press. You can continue to bang Eduardo in hotel rooms. And I'm taking Sean down. They were willing to discuss it. They worked it through, whatever. I sometimes feel being married to an elected official, public person that has the stories about him, he may be able to control the narrative a little bit, but typically my story is always told for me, Jay Ray explained. She had his back. She Hillary Clinton'd it. She Hillary Clinton'd it. She took a bullet for a man, which means one thing. This is a loveless relationship.
Yep.
That's what I find out about this. This is a good old political marriage right here. Because whenever you do this, whenever you just, because a real woman would just be gone.
Be out.
Yeah, a real woman just like it's over.
You're doing it for the optics.
Yeah, so they're just keeping the optics going. I mean, because that's pretty bad. You're caught passed out high with a male sex worker cheating on your wife. And yeah, there's this positive article. When have we ever seen a positive article like this about a politician who was caught like this? This may be this is like, this is a positive article.
It's a positive article.
It's a positive article.
Rudy Giuliani stuck his shirt into his pants for a movie, and people fried him for that.
Yes. I mean, but Gilliam just kind of, he's a hero for a certain community. Yeah. Now my question is this. You said it's because he's black, but do you think it could be because he's bisexual or gay? That could supersede.
That could be
like
if
Elliot
story.
Spitzer was caught with a guy. Could there been like a radical honesty? Could there be a radical honesty article about how, hey, this is great? It must have been so hard for him to hold that.
Yeah.
Even though in 2021 nobody gives a flying fuck, and we're just gonna overlook the fact that no matter what the sex is, you're still fucking cheating, and it's a douchebag move, especially when you're pretending to be clean cut. You're not coming across like you're the lead singer of Aerosmith. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, it's not like he came out being like, hey, I'm Steven Tyler. I likes to get lit. He's like, I'm Andrew Gillum. I'm running for governor. This is my wife. These are my kids. And then after the rally was over, he was like, suck this dick. And the guy was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He looked down. He just saw hair on the forearms. So do you think that could have played a role in it?
Yeah, radical honesty.
Yeah, allegedly. We're not saying that it was spun that way because that's a powerful agenda right now or a great talking point. We're just saying
it could be radical honesty because he was gay, or because the prominence that Republicans have in Florida, Democrats need to balance that out, so they do anything to support their savior.
This is a liberal outlet, right? What's this, Vanity Fair?
GQ.
GQ.
Yeah. So you always got to put Andrew Gillum at the top, even though he's probably a bottom.
Right. Now they don't have any other politicians they could uplift. And now, just for fun, I know this is an old story. We should have actually done this on the Patreon, because that's what we're doing on those episodes.
We can still do it.
Yeah, patreon.com/Yanni Longdays. Me and Jared now, we have a show with different segments. One of those segments is we find a story that would have made lit podcast content if podcasts were around during the story. So we basically are turning back the clock and turning stuff that should be podcast content, that's worthy of podcast content, into amongst other things. So join patreon.com/Yanni Longdays. You have to. Pretty soon I may put this whole podcast on Patreon and just throw teasers up on YouTube, just so I can still do this level of comedy, which we all enjoy. Okay, we all enjoy. Okay, and I'm just gonna say it's top notch. I don't want to toot my own fucking horn, but it's top fucking notch. Anyway, what I want to do real quick, and then we'll get back to Trump and DeSantis. Can we just find a right-wing outlet coverage of the story? Maybe Fox News, Gillum, and while you search for it, me and Jared will discuss all of last week.
Yeah, check back in 20 minutes.
We'll check back in 20 minutes.